Hey everyone, I hope you're enjoying your day. I'm sitting here in my office looking at some investment opportunities for some clients, and I thought I'd bring you along and show you exactly what I look at. I know a lot of people are curious about investment properties, how they work, how can I make money on them. I get different questions all the time from people. I work with quite a few investors as well, and I am an investor. I think owning investment properties are one of the smartest decisions you can make. And I'm going to share a quote with you. I'm sure many people's heard this quote, but the quote is 90% of all millionaires become so through owning real estate. And that was said by Andrew Carnegie. I've heard that several times. I think it's very true. Real estate is Owning real estate is one of the fastest forms of wealth you can have. For the most part, it just appreciates over time. Whether it's houses, duplexes, vacant land, real estate in general is just a great investment opportunity. So if you're curious about owning rental property, I want to walk you through a video here and show you exactly what I look for. And let me know if y'all have any questions after the fact. I'll be happy to answer anything I can for you. But the first thing you got to look at when you're looking at owning property or real estate investments is what do you want to own, right? Do you want to own single family residences? Do you want to own duplexes, fourplexes, small apartment complexes? Do you just want to own vacant land that will appreciate and you can sell to an investor? There's several different types of properties that you can own. So, for the purposes of this video, we're just going to look at single family residences, right? A single family house. It's one of the easiest forms to start out with, and it's very easy to understand. So let me walk you through this real quick. So this little house here, you can see I have found this is on my website, by the way, fsmhomes.com. 516th North 35th Street in Fort Smith. We've got it listed at 63,500. It's a 3-bed, 1-bath house, right? So, is that a good investment property? Well, it's cheap enough, right? 63,500. It's a 3-bed, 1-bath. So I don't know. Is this a good investment property? Well, let's find out. So how do we find out? Well, we've got to crunch the numbers. And I use a website called Bigger Pockets. I'll show you here. Bigger Pockets is just a investment um, uh, website. You can go on there, you can use our calculators, you can find investments, you can network with other investors. But for the purposes of this, we're going to go in here and we're going to start a new report on a rental property calculator here. And I'll walk you through this and what I look at when it comes to investing in real estate and what I use for my clients as well. So first off, the property information. Uh, for the purpose of this report title, we're just going to say Fort Smith Home. The property address was 516th North 35th. That was in Fort Smith. And that's going to be 72903 area code, I do believe. Right? Okay. So what's next? The annual property taxes. Well, how do we find out the property taxes? Well, if you look on my website here, if you scroll down here to the bottom, taxes, $626. That's annually, right? So let's go back in here. Property taxes, $626. We can add a photo if we would like. I've already got the photo saved here. You can put the property description in if you would like as well, but we don't have to. We're just going to hit next step. So purchase price. Well, what was it listed for? Did we say 63, right? 63,500. So let's just assume we're going to pay what it's listed for, 63,500. The after repair value, 63,500. We're going to assume that that's what it's worth. Now we don't know for sure. Let's look at the pictures here and see what they look like. We do know it's a 3-bed, 1-bath house. It looks like it had a carport or garage on the front that was enclosed at one time. So looks like possibly newer carpet. Paint looks pretty good, right? The kitchen looks like it's probably might be tile. Looks like probably linoleum. Uh, Cabinets seem pretty clean. They're all there. It doesn't look like we have to make any repairs on the cabinets. Gas range. Again, the bedrooms, the walls look pretty good. Carpet seems pretty good. I seen one stain there. This looks like the garage that was enclosed at one time as well. I assume they're using that as the third bedroom. Here's the 1 bathroom on it. So, I mean, it looks like it's in pretty good shape. Not a lot of repairs that need to be done. Fenced in backyard. So again, let's go after repair value. Let's just say 63.5. Okay, purchase closing costs. Well, what are the closing costs? How do I figure that out? Um, well, I'm going to give you a little secret here. Because this is an investment property, you can probably, I know you can, get into this house with no closing cost. You can purchase this house with no closing costs, I should say. Um, if you were buying a personal home for you to live in, you might go VA loan or FHA loan, which is going to be 3.5% down, or a conventional loan, which is going to be somewhere between 5 and 20% down. There's different types of ways you can go about that, but because this is an investment, you can use a local bank, and I can share that with you if you would like that information. But they will fund your closing costs into your loan. So instead of having to get extra money out of your pocket to bring to closing, they're just going to fund that into the loan, roll that over in there. So we're going to say $0 on the closing cost. So we're not going to put anything there. The repair cost, same thing. Let's just assume there's no repairs. We don't really know right now. The pictures look pretty good, but until we actually do our inspection, we're not going to really know. So we're just going to say 0 right now. And if there are any repairs, it doesn't look like there would be a whole lot. But again, that's for the inspectors to find out in that inspection period. So we'll just leave that blank for now. The loan details. Well, we're not going to pay cash for it. We're going to get a loan, and we're going to put 15% down. And I will tell you, this loan I'm pretty familiar with because this is how I used, or this is what I used to purchase a house last year, an investment house for myself. So it was through a local bank here. I had to pay 15% down. They funded my closing costs into the loan. The interest rate I got was at 5.49. Right, so pretty good interest rate. It's a little higher than what you would get on buying a personal home, but that's because it is an investment. There was no points charged, and I financed this loan for 15 years. Right, so instead of the 30-year note, I got a 15-year note, and then we'll move on to the next step. The gross monthly rent. What are we going to rent this house out for? Well, how do we figure that out? There's several different ways you can figure that out. You know, I look at this quite often, so I'm pretty familiar with it. But if you're not, you can go to Craigslist and find out what homes are renting for. You can go on Facebook Marketplace and find out how much homes are renting for. There's different websites you can go to and type in an address, and it'll give you the average home rent price for that area. But for this house here, we're going to put $825. And the reason I'm putting $825 is because the little house I bought last year was also a 3-bed, 1-bath house, and I rented it out for $825. So I'm pretty confident I could get $825 out of this house as well. You could go a little cheaper. You could probably, I mean, even $750 a month would be a good price on that. You would obviously get more tenants available or interested in it the lower you wanted to rent that out for, but I think 825 is a good number. Other monthly income, there is no other monthly income on this house. Um, that would be an example would be like if you owned a small apartment complex that had either vending machines or a attached laundromat. That would be the extra income from those vending machines or the laundromat, something like that. Being the single family house, there's going to be no other monthly income on this one. The landlord paid expenses, fixed paid expenses. Let's see, electricity, water, sewer, garbage, all that's going to be paid by the tenant, right? Being a single family house, they are going to pay their own electricity, their own water. So we're going to leave those blank. There's no HOAs on this. Monthly insurance, we're going to put $70. Um, it could be a little more. It would probably, I assume, be a little less than 70. But $70 would cover the insurance on this. I'm pretty positive on this little house. You can see the property taxes they've already carried over from the first page. That's going to be $52.17 a month, your property taxes. Okay, and let's see here. The variable landlord paid expenses. Your vacancy, your repairs, your capital expenditures, what is all this? Well, your vacancy is going to be how much you hold out each month for when the house is vacant, right? So you might rent this house out for 6 months or even a year-long lease. But when that lease is up, if those tenants decide to move out, uh, this house might sit vacant, right, for a month, for 2 months. You don't really know. So you have to hold out vacancy to help you continue to pay that mortgage when nobody else is renting a house from you, and that mortgage and expenses. So let's just say 5% vacancy. So every month you're going to hold out 5% of the rent that you're getting of the $825 a month. You're going to hold that out for vacancy. Repairs and maintenance, same thing. I'm going to say 5%. And again, that's for any maintenance that needs to be done on the house or small repairs. If you paid to get the lawn mowed, or if you had I don't know, a small repair, a small leak inside the house somewhere under the sink or something, and you had to pay to get that fixed. Or you needed a plumber out, something like that. So again, you're holding out 5% a month for those expenses as well. Your capital expenditures are going to be your big ticket items, right? So let's say, you know, uh, in a couple of months after you buy this house, we get a hailstorm that comes through and you need to get a new roof on the house. Well, where's that money going to come from? Well, this is why you're holding out capital expenditures. These are your big ticket items. Um, 5% is what I put in there as well. You could put 10%, hold out 10% a month because it is bigger ticket items. But those would be those items would be a new roof. If you need an HVAC system, new heat and air system. If you need a new window, something like that, right? Your big ticket items. So again, all those are things you're going to be holding out every month for when you have unexpected issues come up or you have vacancy comes up, something like that. Your management fee. Uh, a lot of the big property investors that have many properties, they use a management company. And basically, that just alleviates them from any phone calls or issues that they got to correct. The management company handles all that for them. Most of the time around here, you're going to be looking at about a 10% management fee. Um, but with this being a single family house, this would be easy to manage yourself. There's no really need to hire a management company. So we're just going to leave that blank and say that you'll manage this your property yourself, right? Future assumptions, your annual property value growth. We're just going to say the annual growth is about 1% a year. The annual expenses, same thing, and the sales expenses. The sales expense is what it's going to cost you to sell this house when that time comes, right? You might hold on to this house for 10 or 15 years, but when you do finally decide to sell the house, what's that going to cost you? And we're just going to say 6% because that's what it costs to hire a real estate agent, right? To sell your house, the 6% commission. So after we have all those fees in there, we're going to calculate the results and see what this comes out to, right? This is going to show us how much the property either cash flows or does not cash flow every month. And really, there's no other way to do this or figure this out without running the calculations on it. You might think that it would be a good investment, but there's been many properties that I thought would be good investments, and you run the numbers and you actually see they're not. So let's see what this one works out to be. Should be coming up any minute now. It just takes a few minutes to calculate all those numbers. What do y'all think on this? Do you think it would be a good investment? Do you think it would be a bad investment? What's your thoughts? You can see here your monthly mortgage would be $440 a month. That is if you bought this house at $63,500. If you bought it for the purchase price and put 15% down, your monthly mortgage P&I is going to be $440. Here we go. Here's the results. What do they show? So if we purchase at $63,500, we have monthly income of $825. That's how much we're renting it out for. You can see your monthly expenses, $686, and your cash flow is almost $140 a month. So how do they figure that out? Let's see the breakdown on this. So your monthly mortgage, $440, that's going to be 15% down of your $63,500. So you can see over here, you're 15% down, $95.25. That's how much money you're going to need to bring to closing to buy this house. You're 15% down, you're going to need $9,525 at closing to sign the paperwork and buy this house. If you hold out 5% for vacancy, capital expenditures, and repairs of $41.25 each, you hold out $70 a month for insurance and $52.17 a month for property taxes. You can see after holding all those expenses out and paying your mortgage, you're going to be walking away with almost $140 every month in just extra cash, right? You can use that cash to take a family vacation once a year. You can use that cash to save up and buy another property investment. Whatever you need the extra money for or want the extra money for, you have an extra $140 a month to do that with. That's pretty awesome, right? I mean, that seems like a good deal. The cash on cash is another big number we look at, 17%. That's how much your cash is making. So 17%, anything really over 12 or 13% is really good. That's what I like to see. So this one, you're all the way up there at 17%, 17 and a half. That's really good. Well, let's say, Chris, I don't want to buy this house for $63,500. I want to buy this house for $60,000. What would that do for me? Well, let's go back in here, edit the report. We don't change anything on the first page. The second page, where the purchase price is, let's just say instead of $63,500, we want to buy this house for $60,000. Your after repair value is still $63,500, right? Your down payment is still 15%, so it's going to lower the amount of money you need to bring to closing. So instead of 15% of $63,500, we're going to be paying 15% of $60,000, right? Still 15 years. All this stays the same. The rent, we're going to rent the house out at $825 a month. Let's calculate those results and see what that does for us. Well, you can see you went from $138 to $162 a month. So, I mean, that's great, right? We've got an extra $162 every month we can put in savings. We can save down for another investment. We can take a family trip with. Help to pay off other debt, whatever we want to do with that. And not only that, your cash on cash went up to 21%, which is great. Anyways, that's what I look at. That's the numbers. It's very interesting how all this works out, and it's very cool to see. So, and again, this website I use is biggerpockets.com. I also use my personal website, fsmhomes.com. You can go in here, you can find the information about the houses, you can find the taxes, So if you have any questions over any of this, send me a message or give me a call, get in contact with me. I'll be happy to help you out. If you want me to find some properties for you that you just don't have the time to look at this, and you're interested in owning investment properties, let me know. I'll be happy to do a search on something that you're looking to invest in, and see if we can find you something. So, anyways, I hope this helps answer some questions. Y'all have a great day. I'll talk to you soon.